Our next speaker, Mr. Michael Hubbard, is an alumnus not of AIESEC India, but from AIESEC in South Africa, a dear friend of AIESEC in India, who first came to India on an internship and now runs his own company in Hyderabad. Michael, I hand over the stage to you so that you can tell us about your experience in your role with AIESEC.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So let me just get my notes, otherwise I'm going to forget what I'm going to say. That happened last week. So my name is Michael Hubbard. I'm a South African who was born in Germany and now lives in India. So some might call that the definition of a global citizen. I'm not sure, but AIESEC is like to use that term. So as you heard, currently I run a software company in Hyderabad. And it's given me a really interesting connection to India. But actually, that is not how I first got connected to India. My connection to India did not start through business, but it started through a human connection. And let me just see if this works. There we go. So it started in 2011, when my girlfriend had just broken up with me, and I was having a bit of an existential crisis. And I was wondering, what is life? What am I supposed to be doing with myself? Sorry, is this better? So I was wondering, what is life? What am I supposed to be doing with myself? And, you know, I want to do something radical. And what do white people do when they want to be radical? They go to India. So in December 2011, I ended up in India, and I had no expectations. And I'm not joking when I say that. I really had no expectations. I knew I was going to work with kids. Well, I came through AIESEC. I came as an intern, and I didn't know anything about AIESEC at the time. It was, you know, a bunch of students had sent me an email saying, hey, do you guys want to do an international internship? Yeah, sure, why not? So I ended up in India, and I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. But what happened was that I spent 2 months living in an orphanage in Hyderabad. And when I say living, I mean, we weren't just working there, but we were living there. So we saw the kids when they woke up in the morning. We saw them get ready for school. We saw them in school. We saw them come for lunch. We saw them do their homework. We saw them play cricket on Sundays. And we saw them go to sleep in the evenings. And for 2 months, that was our life. Me and 4 other interns. Sorry, 4 other interns and I. My mother's an English teacher. And it was such an amazing experience because living with these children, not just spending time with them or working with them in a school environment, but actually living with them 24/7. You get to know them so well. And I felt like I became a part of that family. And we got to celebrate various holidays with them. This is a Christian orphanage, so the first one was, of course, Christmas. So the 5 interns, the 5 of us, we decided, let's get them gifts for Christmas. And India is an amazing place, and for about 1,000 rupees between each of us, we were able to get a wrapped gift and a pack of Oreos for every single kid. And we had an amazing Christmas, and it was the most amazing sight. And what really amazed me about these kids is that a lot of them are orphans. Some of them come from families that they have parents, but the parents can't take care of them. The parents have drug addiction problems, alcohol addiction. They're just too poor. They're begging on the streets. But these kids who come from these difficult circumstances, I mean, some of these kids, they don't have parents. They've seen their parents die, some of them. I can't even imagine how hard that must be. But I promise you, I've never seen happier people in my life. Because these kids live life in the moment. They love life. And I came back from my internship, and I went on to become an AIESECer. I joined AIESEC after I got back, because I was like, this is such an amazing experience. I want to help other people have this experience. But you know what? And I had an amazing experience in AIESEC. I became a local committee president, and I ended up working for AIESEC South Africa. But AIESEC was great. In the end, it all comes back down to that experience I had with the kids. Because those kids, they had a lasting impact on me. I got to fly kites with them on Sankranti. Honestly, my favorite Indian festival. So if you guys ever want to fly kites for Sankranti, come to Hyderabad. I'll show you how to get them really, really high. And probably the most impactful moment of my internship was 2 days before I was leaving back for South Africa was Republic Day. And all the kids were in their school uniforms, and they had the Indian flag on their chest, and they had their hair all nice and combed and everything. And they stood and they sang the national anthem, and the manager of the orphanage requested me to please stand with him and salute the flag as they sing Jana Gana Mana. And during that moment, I felt so proud, I felt so connected to these children. Like I felt a part of that family. And 2 days later, as it came time to say goodbye, it's difficult because some of these children have gone through such hard times. And one boy, his name is Balakrishna. Now he's 14 years old. Just before I came to India, he was born with HIV. Both his parents have died from it. Just before I came to India, his CD4 count, which is the measure of how badly HIV affects your body, his CD4 count was 117, which means his body is not able to defend itself against even the common cold. If he gets a cold, he will die. That's how bad it was. And yet, that boy's smile will make your heart melt. He is so full of joy. Every day, he just wants to have fun, enjoy life. And he knows, it's not that he doesn't understand what is happening to his body. He takes 9 pills a day. He knows exactly what's going on. But he doesn't let it bother him. He just enjoys life as it comes. And as I was getting ready to leave, he begged me, please, brother, come back for my birthday, which is on June 16th. Please come back. And I said, I can't promise. I don't know. I'd love to say that I'll come back, but I don't want to promise that I'll come back and then I don't and disappoint you. And on my last day, I was addressing all the kids, and they're sitting in line, and it's very cute. They all line up according to their height. So every few weeks or so, they have to sort of realign themselves if anyone's grown. And they were always lining up, and I was saying to them, I'm going to miss you guys, and it was a really great experience, and you're awesome. And I started crying. I couldn't help it. And a few kids had started crying before that, but now all of them were crying. And I had a flight to catch, and I almost missed it, because I just couldn't go. I had to hug every single kid, and it was very difficult to leave. But in the end, I had to leave, and a month later, one of the interns who'd been living there with me went back to visit the kids, and she sent me this video. Can we get the video?
Guys!
In case that wasn't easy to make out, in the beginning they were shouting, Michael, brother. And I got these, I actually got 2 videos. There's another video, but I'm not going to show it right now. But basically these videos of these kids asking, when am I going to come back? When am I going to visit them? And at the same time, when we were there for our internship, thankfully, and the previous speaker mentioned it, there's this great company called Tata, and they have this device called a Tata Photon. So we were able to get them connected to the internet. So once I went back to South Africa, I was able to stay in touch with them using Skype. And every 3-4 weeks, I would talk to them on Skype. And right now here you see Balu, so Balakrishna, the kid I spoke about, he's on the left. This is Kumar on the right. And every few weeks I'd talk to them on Skype. I'd ask them, how are things going? And the English isn't great. They don't speak a lot of English. So they'd teach me a bit of Telugu, and they'd know a bit of English. And I'd ask them, how's school? What did you have for lunch? The basics. And Balu would, of course, ask me, am I coming back for his birthday? So eventually, and I was still a student at the time, I didn't have a lot of money. So I spoke to my mom about this, and she said, you know what, if you really want to go back, why don't I lend you the money from your, your pocket money that you're going to be receiving in the future? So I said, cool, great, let me go back. And I actually filmed when I went back for the first time, and keep in mind, they'd probably have about 9 or 10 interns from other countries that had visited them before. And none had ever gone back before. All of them had promised, but none had ever gone back. So this was me going back after 6 months after my internship. If we can get the next video. And sorry for the shakiness. I was holding it on the side. They get excited by cameras. I didn't want them to get too excited about the camera.
So I'm hoping I can get up to the front entrance without them seeing me. Can't see me too far away. They're all standing out in the courtyard. Oh, I'm so nervous. This is going to be so awesome. So awesome. You can see the blue building coming up. It's open.
gotten much better since then. I was also carrying my suitcase in the other hand.
My bags. Okay. Let's do this.
Hello. Hey. Hello. Move that. No. Yep. Is that it? No, that's it. So. And that became a cycle. I went back and I spent 3 more weeks living with them. And I've gotten to know these kids so well. And it became a cycle that every 6 months I would go back to Hyderabad and visit these kids. This was in June 2012. I went back again in January 2013 and spent a month with them. I went back again for October 2013 for my birthday and celebrated my birthday with them. And I went back again for Christmas in 2013. Until finally I moved to Hyderabad in 2014, in July last year. So I went there because I was trying to figure out what is the purpose in life. What am I doing with my life? Where am I heading? And in the end, that is something that I actually did end up learning from these kids, because they just live life in the moment and they just are happy all the time. And what I really learned is that life is just about being yourself, being happy and doing what you love. So these are sort of 3 things that I learned from the kids is do what you love. Just find something you love and do that. If you're doing something that you don't love, stop it. There's no point. If you're working in some company and you're hating it, that's because you're building someone else's dream. If you're enjoying it, that's fine. Do it. But don't do something you don't enjoy. But also, if you're doing something you love, do it well. There's no point in doing something you love but not being the best at it. And if you really want to enjoy life and live life to the fullest, and you're doing something that you love, and you're doing it well, use it to create value. Because in life, if you want to make a living, if you want to go somewhere, you need to create value for someone else, because that's where they're going to pay you. And that is how I ended up starting my current company, which is Lane, which I named after my mother. In case you're wondering, she's still alive. She's actually coming to India in December to visit the kids, believe it or not. I'm a bit nervous about how that's going to go. I hope she likes the food. But, so, and in this company, you know, I love business as well, because it's, you know, you're dealing with people, you're meeting people, you're signing contracts, you know, getting money in the bank sometimes if you're lucky. And it's a great feeling. And we've been doing some really great projects in this company. And at this time, we support about 10 different households in India. We have a team of about 6 or 7 in Kolkata and a team of 3 in Hyderabad, which I'm very proud of. And I mean, some of the projects we've done, we're tracking patients who have pulmonary hypertension in South America in 8 different countries. We're helping to prove the efficacy of a HIV and tuberculosis vaccine in South Africa. We built an awesome fleet tracking software for a cab company in South Africa, which has helped them improve their efficiency so much so that they've actually gone from loss-making to profit-making. And we've helped build this CRM software for a company, for a franchise company in South Africa, that for the last 3 years, I'd like to think with the help of our software, they've been the best franchise in their network. And by the way, we've been working with them for 3.5 years. And this is great. I love this. Like, there's nothing, there is, but like something that really fulfills me is doing business and being successful in business. You know, being able to say that I'm independent. I don't depend on anyone. I'm helping to support other people. We are building great products that are helping other people, not just building generic websites and these things. And that is really great. But something is missing. It doesn't fulfill me. And in the end, it goes back to the kids. Because honestly, until this day, nothing fulfills me as much as these kids. And for some people, spending time with kids is stressful. They find it, especially with 60 kids, it can be very nerve-wracking because all of them want attention. They all want to know what you had for lunch, and you have to tell them 60 times because 6 kids can't have the same answer. And for some people, it's difficult. But for me, when I spend time with the kids, it's like going to a spa. Whenever I go there, it's just letting go of the world. It's peaceful, and I can sort of move on with life. And what I've really learned from them is that just enjoy life. Don't bother about everything else. Just move on and be happy. That's it from me. Thank you very much. If you want to get in touch, thank you.